key parts of a federal law to counter foreign interference are going into effect today. 2 years ago, the government passed legislation that gave new powers to Canadian security agencies. It also created a new watchdog and public registry. But the man in charge of that says his focus will be foreign influence, not interference.
The office hasn't been set up to address interference writ large. It's really about transparency and public disclosure of influence activity.
That's Canada's new Foreign Influence Commissioner, Anton Boegman. He says foreign attempts to affect what happens in Canada is the responsibility of the RCMP and other national security agencies. For more on this Foreign Influence Registry, Megan Fitzpatrick joins me in Ottawa. Megan, good to have you on this. So what more can you tell us about the new registry and, of course, who needs to be registered?
Yeah, so really this is all about transparency and raising awareness in the Canadian public about what are considered foreign influence activities. So these activities, many of them are legal. They fall under sort of traditional diplomatic relations type activities. But there are also activities that are considered to be kind of crossing the line in terms of their legitimacy. They're more secretive and covert and deceptive, and those fall more under the realm of foreign interference. So this registry about foreign influence is going to allow Canadians to see who is engaging in influence activities and what exactly those activities are. This is a public registry, so people will be able to access it. And in terms of the rules around who needs to register, the legislation does set out criteria, and if all of them are met, then that will trigger the requirement to register. So if someone enters into an arrangement with what's called a foreign principal, they may need to register. And a foreign principal could be a foreign government, some kind of foreign organization or political party. And if the goal of that arrangement and the work being done under that arrangement is to influence a government process here in Canada, like a piece of legislation or an election or a referendum, and if the influence activities involve communicating with an elected official or a government employee, or communicating with the public in Canada, or providing money or other items of value, then they may need to register. And communicating with an elected official could be sending an email or sending a letter or requesting a meeting or having a meeting. And communicating with the public could be an advocacy campaign or conducting media interviews. So those are sort of the general rules. There's more to it than that, but I'm laying out kind of the basics. If and when someone enters into this kind of arrangement, they then have 14 days to log on and register.
So the parameters around the registry, as you point out, laid out there. But what happens if someone doesn't register?
Well, there are fines for non-compliance, and those fines can range from as little as $250 all the way up to $1 million. So it's quite a range. The penalty imposed will depend on the seriousness of the violation. And in serious cases, there could be criminal charges, and the penalties for those could be a prison sentence of up to 5 years or even bigger fines up to $5 million. So it will be up to this new commissioner who starts his job this week, that's Anton Boegman, to decide penalties for non-compliance. He's the former chief electoral officer of British Columbia. And he said in an interview with CBC News, you heard part of it there, that he'll decide on a case-by-case basis kind of what falls into foreign interference and what falls into foreign influence. Again, his mandate is around foreign influence activities. He said if any situations are deemed to be foreign interference, that would be passed over to Canada's national security agencies like the RCMP. That's outside of his mandate. He was explaining this in this interview. So again, really, his mandate more focused on foreign influence activities and making them more transparent and accessible to Canadians. Again, this registry, once it gets up and running, will be fully publicly accessible.
Megan, thank you so much for this. The CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick for us in Ottawa.